Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video, and guys, we have got a new Fusion champion coming up. So Fusion, slightly different from Fragments if you're new to the game. Fragment, you just collect fragments through different events and stuff, and then straight up you get the champion. Like you need 100, you get the champion, and away you go. A Fusion, you have to collect a number of epics generally, or generally you have to collect 16 rares, which then build into 4 epics, which then build into 1 legendary champion. It's way harder. It's way harder. It takes a lot more time. It may be, I don't know the details of this yet, it may be, and usually is, new epics and new rares coming into the game to make this fusion. So sometimes the benefit of this side is that newer accounts might actually get some cool rares and some cool epics which build into the legendary, and then instead of taking the legendary on, you actually take on those epic champions to help your new account. But absolutely the worst side is you have to build out all of these champions, you have to ascend them, you have to give them potions, all of that stuff before you get your actual legendary champion. So they have to be top notch to be worth your time. So let's have a look then. What have we got? Who have we got? And do we care? So her name is Cybele, or Cybele. I'm going to call her Cybele because I prefer it. So what's going on? She has, let's just go through it quick actually. Knight Revenant, legendary support champion, and she's Force Affinity. So let's see, firstly, do we need that? Knight Revs, probably a little bit light on legendaries. Force Affinity, they're kind of top heavy Force already, so that seems a bit weird. Support champions, we've got 2. It's pretty well spread. So I guess a support champion is fine. We've literally just got another Force Affinity. I'd call myself a support champion, really. So, like, Knight Revs. Anyway. Let's see if Cybele is actually any good. Let's see what she's all about. So, firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read what raids say about this champion, and then I'm going to give you my opinion. So, this champion will manipulate with swapping HP and revive on death mechanics, and should become a good addition to your PvE roster of champs. Her A1 is an AoE attack that will always fill her turn meter and has a chance to decrease speed on enemies, a debuff which is always viable, especially on an A1. With her A2, she will protect your allies with increased defense and revive on death, and this skill is closely connected with her passive. With A3, we present a rather new mechanic of swapping HP with a target ally. This will allow you to save your most injured champion, and to save Mother Cybele if she's close to death. Both of them will benefit from the HP swap, as plenty of positive effects come with this swap. As her passive helps your allies to be healed and have their turn meters filled when Mother Cybele dies or is revived. Oh, and don't forget, she's got an aura, which is a 24% speed aura in all battles. That's what Raid want to sell us. That's the Raid hype. Now let's get some reality going on. Let's have a look. AoE, A1, that's cool actually. There's not tons of them in the game, and it does help if you're looking for, like, you know, a farmer style champion, albeit I can't see that she is. What is she? Support champion. Doesn't tell us what her damage is based from, but most support based champions actually have their damage based on attack so that they don't scale too high with damage. 25% chance to put decreased speed on an AoE is okay. Nothing more than that. Like, there's no guarantees of anything going on here. The turn meter filled by 15% is okay. So an A1, which is okay. Tick. A2, 6 turn cooldown. And imagine there's at least 2, maybe 3 books to make this a 3 turn cooldown. Honestly, if it's not a 3 turn cooldown, yowza, it's useless. Places revive on death and 60% increased defense on all allies. So I guess the revive on death will come into a passive. We'll see that in a minute. It's an okay ability, nothing crazy. A3 swaps HP with an ally. So if this champion's HP is equal or higher than the target's after the swap, fills this champion's turn meter by 40%, puts an increased speed buff on them, and places block damage on the target. So the person, so she ends up with more HP, she gets more turn meter, more speed, and the person she's protecting that's going to have less HP is going to get block damage. That sounds like it's kind of weird, but it's cool. And basically, if her HP is lower, then it's reversed. So she'll get the block damage and the other person will get the speed and turn meter. Also places 2 15% continuous heals on this champion for 2 turns. 6-turn cooldown. We then got a passive, which is the interesting part about a kit, I guess. Fully heals the ally with the lowest HP whenever this champion is killed. Okay? And don't forget, she's got a revive on death potential. So she dies. Whoever was also low tops up health. Heals all allies by 20% of their max HP. And fills their turn meter by 15% whenever this champion is revived. So the death heals your lowest HP champion. And then the instant revive actually gives you a turn meter fill and heals your team. Honestly, this champion feels trash, honestly. For me, it feels like an easy skip. I don't get it. The kit's too weird. The kit's too weird. For me, on my free to play, which I'm kind of like gearing up towards the next fusion, I'm like, I'm ready. Give me one. I don't think she's it. I don't think she's worth my time or my energy based on what I'm seeing here. Have I missed something? Where do you play this champion? Which of the Doom Tower bosses does she come in and do work for? Which of the dungeon bosses does she come in? How does she fit in Clan Boss? Like, none of her mechanics make a lot of sense. It feels like she's an arena champion, but based on an arena meta that doesn't exist. I don't know, guys. It feels to me like, I don't know. For me, easiest skip I've ever seen since PYXNIEL. But don't take my word on it. Absolutely go and check some other videos out, because I could be way wrong. I could be way wrong, and some other people might be like, "You're Hell Hades, what are you smoking? This is the best champion I've ever seen. This is the best champion I've ever seen, and this is where I would use it." And they'd be like, bam, bam, bam. So make sure you check out some other people, because I could be so wrong on this one. But based on her kit, I do not see where she plays. Anyway, I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.